Hello, garden friends. Thank you for joining me today. I thought we'd talk about onions, specifically green onions or bunching onions. So I have two different plants here. This is called the Egyptian walking onion in this container here. And this one here is a bunching onion. I'm not sure the exact variety of this one, but they pretty much grow the same. So the reason I wanted to show you these two is that these are two of the main ways they grow the green onions. Now these are flowering or reproducing, let me put it that way right now. They are almost identical when they're not reproducing. So if they didn't have these seed stalks or seed heads and little bulbules, you wouldn't be able to really tell the difference between them. So I thought this was a good time to show you these two types. Now this Egyptian walking onion I bought off of Etsy. You can buy the bulbules, little bulbs here, and plant them that way, but I bought the actual plant. I bought 4 of them and I stuck them in this container last year, and this is more than 4 obviously. So they reproduce by making these bulbules which grow up and grow bigger and then fall to the ground. So when they come up initially, it looks like, let me see, the center stalk kind of just starts growing almost from the middle of it. You can see it rising like it's in an elevator. Then it gets to the tip and eventually starts to look something like this. So it almost looks like a garlic bulb like that. And then it opens up to look something like this. You can see the bulbules there. Sometimes they're 3, sometimes they're 4. And a lot of times they come out with the green stalks already attached to them, growing, so it looks like a whole new onion. So see this one, let me see if I can focus on this one here. It's being blocked, but you can see where it's starting to grow there. Let me show you this one over here. Oh, my shadow's in the way, but here, so you can get a better picture of what it looks like. Now if you leave these to continue growing, they will get heavy, they will fall to the ground, and then those bulbules will plant themselves in the ground and grow a whole new onion. And that's why they're called walking onions, because they walk around your garden. Now moving over to the regular bunching onions, they form like a seed head at the top. It's like a flower, and then inside these little flowers here you'll have seeds, and this also gets heavy and falls to the ground. So this is a new one, looks like a flower. And then this one, you can see it's old, and inside these little packets are seeds, and you can regrow more onions from that. This is, let me show you how it looks in the beginning. So see how this is the onion, and then it starts off looking like this, and then it opens up, looks more like this, and then eventually dries out to look like this. Okay, now this onion here, the Egyptian walking onion, I believe also multiplies by bunching and separating, because like I said, I only bought 4, and just by looking in there, let me see, because there was not much soil in this container that I put them in. I just threw them in there. I can see 4 just here, just in this section here are 4. So definitely separated, because these did not make any bulbules last year. There was only one plant that made a bulbule, and it had 3 little bulbs that came up of it. So I took those and I put them in some soil in a container. I have one in another part of the garden so it can walk over there, and then I put two in just what you call those, little containers, like cups, just little cups, and they're growing and they actually have bulbs of their own right now. So I know these ones did not come from bulbs, they just separated, which is great. So they're still in a container now, but I am gonna try to find a spot in the garden to put them in where they can spread out and grow and walk around the garden. I've also planted multiple regular green onions in the garden beds. Let me take you over there. So the edge of this garden bed, I put in some, I think they're the white Lisbon bunching onions, but that's all along this end. And then when you turn on this way, I put some leeks. I don't know if you can see them from here, but I put some leeks beside the tomatoes all around this edge here. And then let me take you to the other bed. So over in this bed, I have more bunching onions, and I thought the other one was the white Lisbon, but I think it's actually the red-beard bunching onions, I believe. That's what I planted over there. That's why you put tags on things, because you don't remember. So there, more onions. Now, let me show you the baby I was talking about, the one that came from the walking onions, the one that's finally made it into the ground. I'll show you that one is growing quite beautifully, if I may say so myself. So there she is. I put her in the ground here, I think last year. I put all three of the bulbs together. They were still attached to each other. And then I realized they were competing for space and not doing very well. So I took the two out and put them in containers. So this is the walking onion. And like you can see, this one has fallen down. I wonder why it fell down. Because it's heavy. Look at that. So see, of all the other ones that are in the container, this one looks, of all the ones I have in the garden, this one looks the best. And it's the one that's in the ground because it has space to grow and get nutrients. The other ones are competing desperately. But so you can see that this one has three little bulbs. Well, is it three or two? It's two here. But then it continued over here. And what is it doing? What is it doing? What is it doing? It's making more. Look at that. It's making more. There's 4 bulbs on here. My goodness. It's trying to walk. It's trying to take a big walk. It's trying to do a marathon. Oh wait, I see a little native bee. Oh, she's gone. Oh wait, is that her? Look at her. Let me see if I can get her. Oh, she flew off. She does not want to join this party. All right. So, and then this one here is doing the same thing. This thing is trying to walk everywhere. This is a marathon at this point. So she's trying to be a running onion. So that's this one. And she's sitting with some celery I just planted. This is my first time planting celery. Oh, another native bee. Can you guys look? They're so tiny, I don't know if they show up on the screen, but look, a little pollinator. I'll let you do your job, little ma'am. Let you do your job. Okay. One more detour in the garden to look at onions. So this here container houses the bunching onions I did not grow from seed. This one I bought a pack from the grocery store and realized I wasn't going to use it right away, so I put it in this container, just stuck them all in there, and then when I wanted one I would just come in and cut it from the base and leave about 2 inches, about this much white in the soil, and it would regrow. So I did that last year, and then this year she did her thing. She flowered and she's making seeds. I don't really need all these seeds, but I leave them here because they are flowers to me. They're pretty, okay? They're pretty, so that's why they're still here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I have to do some research, see if I could still use this to cook, if it'll still taste good. But yeah, that's... And let me show you the red-beard bunching onions. that I planted last year. So here's the red beard bunching onion from last year. The stems tend to be redder. Ooh, did you see that? Okay, let me show you this. This is the seed head, and I just brushed against it and seeds went flying. They're all over on the floor now. Let me see, I have some in my hand here. You see that? So that's how you get the seeds. I'm gonna come cut this off and maybe spread these seeds in the garden bed. Let me put some more in. Nah, I shouldn't put some more in there. I plant so densely, I'll just keep putting things in. I will put it somewhere else. But look at that. So yeah, she's making seed for me. I just planted her last year. These were struggle plants last year. They looked really small. I think I planted them pretty late. But I think you can plant bunching onions at any time. They will just do their thing. So, but they struggled a little bit, and then as soon as spring came, they started flowering, and I've got some seeds, baby. There you go. So, yeah, plant yourself some bunching onions and some walking onions. If not for anything, they make pretty flowers. They're easy to grow. They thrive on neglect. No, they don't. Yeah, but you don't really have to do much to them. I have some that I planted years ago, left them in a container and didn't even water them, and they survived a move from a different house, sitting in the garden with no attention for 2 years. So, bunching onions. Well, thank you for joining me today. Please like the video if you liked it. Subscribe and follow. Leave me a comment if you planted onions in your garden. I would like to know if you planted bulbing onions. I plan to do that next year. I didn't have the time or the space for them this year, but I would like to grow some regular onions next year. So leave me some ideas of what you have in your garden, especially if you're in my zone. I'm in zone 8A. Let me know what you planted in your garden. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.